Hi, I'm Tim and you're watching me, MrTimTech, on YouTube, and welcome. In this video, we're going to be taking a look and unboxing and also setting up this item, which is the SofaBaton X1S, which is a premium top-of-the-range universal remote control. So let's get to it and take a look inside the box, and then what we'll do is get it set up onto my TV and my Sky Q box. So let's get to it now. And here we are with the SofaBaton X1S smart remote control, and it's in a nicely packaged box, as you can see, solid cardboard packaging. And inside the box, if we lift the lid up, we have a X1S smart remote SofaBaton guide, which provides you with full instructions on how to set up the SofaBaton X1S, positioning it, video tutorials, downloading the SofaBaton app, and also Wi-Fi setup, adding devices, creating an activity, using Alexa and Google Assistant, and also specifications and performance, and then lastly the frequently asked questions. So inside the front cover we have how do I set up the SofaBaton, so it provides you with full comprehensive instructions and also pictures as well and diagrams on how to set it up. So what we'll do is put this guide to one side and then take a look inside the box itself, and we have some what I call foam type packaging, which I presume is maybe recyclable. And inside the foam packaging we have the X1S remote control. So as you can see, it has a full OLED screen here, which is colour. It has an off button to turn the remote control off. It also has a back button which you use to navigate the menus that appear on screen, and I will show you the menus later on in this video. And we also have a horizontal scroll button, which you can see is actually popped up with menu icons on the LCD screen, and you can also click the button as well, and then you can go back to the previous menu with the back button in the top right corner there. In the top left corner we have an off button, and we also have a navigational wheel there which doesn't actually rotate, but it does scroll left, right, up, down, and in the center there's also a confirm or an OK button in the center of the navigation ring. We also have a back button, which is for controlling the devices. We have a home button, a menu button, channel up and down, volume up, down, mute button, also a rewind and fast forward, and also a play, pause, stop button in the middle. Then we also have 4 coloured buttons. So this is a red action button, yellow, green and blue. So that's basically the SofaBaton remote control. At the back it has SofaBaton and the compliance information there, and then at the bottom of the device it has a USB-C connection here which you use to charge up the device with. Now apparently the device can last up to about 60 days before it needs recharging, so that would be equivalent to what, 2 months. So it does last quite a long while under normal use, I expect, before you have to recharge it. So we'll put that down, take out the foam packaging, and then inside that we have a card where it says basic settings for the X1S smart remote control. It's saying connecting it to your hub, step 1. Step 2 is adding devices and downloading the corresponding code base into the app, and then create a new activity for number 3, and then it says please refer to the instruction manual for details. On the back of the card it's giving you an email address where you can contact them, which is service@sofabaton.com. Then in the box we have the actual hub itself, which is in a plastic envelope or bag, whichever you like to refer to it, which I'll put to one side. And then inside that we have the hub, which is also covered in sticky plastic film which grips to the hub for transit. So I'll keep that to one side. And this is the hub that pairs with the remote control here, and also it pairs with other devices such as your TV, your satellite TV box, and also your mobile phone. So it all links in together via this SofaBaton hub. So it has SofaBaton there, and in the center here, or close to the center, there's a little circle which you use to program universal remote controls with. So for example, if you want to use the learning function and program the SofaBaton remote control via a learning function from your original remote, then what you would do is point the IR remote control from your original remote at this circle here. So at the back of the device, we have a pairing button which you hold in for 3 seconds, which puts it in Bluetooth pairing mode. Then we have a USB-C connection, which is used to power the hub with. Then we have 2 other sockets, which I believe are 3.5 millimeters or slightly less, and these are numbered 1 to 2. So hopefully you can see all those ports there. And these numbered 1 to 2 ports are for the IR blasters to connect to. So it's supplied with 2 IR blasters, and one of the IR blasters has actually 2 blasters on one cable, but the second one is just a single IR blaster. So that's basically the hub, and at the front there it has a section which lights up and changes colour depending on the status of the hub. So there is actually mounting holes there, so you can actually wall mount the hub if you so wish, but I'll be just sitting it on my cabinet with the rubber feet that's already supplied and fitted to the hub itself. We also have a UK plug which has a USB-A socket on it, and we have a USB-C to A cable here which is used to recharge the SofaBaton remote control. There's also a second USB-A to C cable here, and this is for the hub itself. So you would connect your hub to one of the USB ports on, for example, your TV or a device which has power to it, so that it can supply power to the hub. And the other end, which is a USB-C connection here, which will be plugged into the back of the hub there. So you do get 2 USB-C to A cables with the device. Then in the box we have, which is the last item in the box here, as you'll see, there are 2 IR blaster cables. And as I've said, one of them has a 3.5 millimeter plug which goes into the back of the hub here, and it can go into either port, number 1 or 2, and it has 1 IR blaster sensor on the end of this cable as well, and it has a foam backing which is actually adhesive which you peel off the back. Or of course, if you want to just stick it down with, for example, blue tack or some other adhesive tacking, then you can do. You don't have to permanently stick it down with the foam pad on the back. Then the second IR blaster cable again has a 3.5 millimeter plug, which again goes into the other socket on the back of the hub. So there, as I've said, there's 2 sockets, and on this IR blaster cable we have 2 IR sensors. So that's infrared I'm talking about when I mention IR, and this has 2 sensors on the end of this cable. So there are in total 3 IR sensors with the pack. Now you can't actually put any more in the back of the hub, so there's no free port spare, so these IR blasters will be taken up by the 2 ports. So this is the SofaBaton X1S Premium Universal Remote Control. So that's everything what you get in the kit. Now onto the basic specs. The battery for the remote control is rated at 1000 milliamp hours. And it works for about 2 months. It has a 2-inch LCD screen, so it's not OLED as I think I mentioned earlier, but it is in colour, and it supports Bluetooth, infrared and Wi-Fi controlled devices. Now it can take up to 50 devices in this, so you can have 50 devices added into this remote control and system. The cloud code library data can be accessed and added through the app. So I will show you the app on my Android phone, and you can also program these buttons to be customizable to what you want to assign them to so you can just reassign buttons as you wish. Now for support, you can have also custom macro buttons, so you can have one key to control multiple steps. So for example, if you want to press, say, the red button to turn on your TV on your satellite box and select a specific channel all in one go via that one button, then you can do this with macro commands. The product selling points for this are high compatibility, compatible with IR, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi devices, and it works with a device library of over 500,000 infrared codes for various devices. So I'm sure you should be able to find your device in the code library, with it being over 500,000 infrared code devices. Now the hub also supports infrared, wireless LAN, our Bluetooth devices as well, so you can have all Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and infrared control for the hub itself. And also just to mention that the remote control itself does have backlit keys, so all the keys are backlit, as well as obviously the backlit LCD screen, which shows up, as I've said, in colour. Now it does have protective film over it, but I'll leave that on for the time being just to protect it while I'm doing various setup options until I finish setting it up. So that's basically the SofaBaton X1S Premium top of the range remote control. Now I should say that here in the UK these are priced on Amazon at around £197, so that's GB pounds sterling here in the UK. Yes, they are expensive, but they do offer other models as well. So there are lower range models which they do offer, and I think for what you get, and because of all the 500,000 device support, and also it supports Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and IR devices, that you're paying for what you get. So you're paying for quality, and I think you do get quality in this equipment. It looks really nicely built. The hub, I would say, is a little plasticky maybe for the hub, but to be honest, you're not using the hub on a day-to-day basis. You don't need to interact with it, so you just put it somewhere safe at the back of your TV or your media center and leave it there. So it's the remote control that has the premium build quality, I would say, and it feels quite solid. It feels well built. The buttons are slightly rubberized, however they're not too spongy. They are quite firm to touch, but there is a rubber feel to the buttons on there, apart from the ring, which is actually solid plastic, and it does feel quite responsive to navigations and presses. So what we'll do next is we'll get this adopted and set up in the app. I've already downloaded the app on my Android phone, so what I'll do is open up the app, and then what we'll do is pair the remote control, the hub, and then what we'll do is add my TV and my satellite TV box into the remote so that we can control them. So we'll get onto that right now. So you'll see here that I've connected the hub via its USB-C connection, and it's connected into a USB power socket here at my desk temporarily while we pair the hub with my mobile phone, which I have at my desk here. So you'll see that the hub is powered on and it has a green light at the moment, and also next to it I have the remote control handy. So what we'll do is switch to my screen next, and I'll show you the app, and what we'll do is go ahead and pair this hub into the app. So here we are at the computer screen, and what we're going to do is connect the hub to a power outlet, which we've already done, and what we'll do is click next. Then what we're going to do is hold the button, so it's the pairing button which is next to the USB-C input, and we're going to hold it down for 3 seconds until the LED starts blinking. As you'll see, it's now blinking blue. Hopefully you can see this on screen. And then what we'll do is go back to the app on screen, and you will see we've got the blue indicator of the hub is blinking. So we'll tick this box and click next. Then it's saying that the phone's Bluetooth is not enabled. So what we'll do is enable Bluetooth on the phone. So what I also recommend doing is also enabling location as well as Bluetooth, which you can see I've just done on screen here now. So we'll go back and then click confirm. And now it's saying that the available devices are SofaBaton in Bluetooth. So we'll click this, and it's now saying pairing. So what we'll do is select pair, and then it's saying paired devices. So what we'll do is go back, and now we're in the app. We'll click next. So now what it's asking us to do is select a 2.4 Wi-Fi connection. So we'll select this, which is my local Wi-Fi network. Type in the Wi-Fi password and click provision. Now what it's doing is sending Wi-Fi credentials, confirming Wi-Fi connection, and then what it will do next is accessing cloud account, which I've already set up, as you can see in this app. So I've already set up the cloud account, and as you can see, we've all got 4 ticks. So we'll click OK. And as you can see, it's connected to the hub with that connection successful message that just briefly popped up. So here in the app, we have devices, activities. So activities is where you create the macros to, for example, switch on your TV, switch on your satellite box, and automatically switch to a certain channel when you press one of the buttons on the remote control. We'll now take the hub to the TV, connect it to the TV, get our TV and satellite box added into the hub as devices. So we'll do that next. So now that we've adopted and set up the hub, and we've also positioned temporarily, of course, the IR sensors, so the infrared sensors, what we're going to do is add the devices into the SofaBaton app. So as you can see, I've already added the Panasonic TV. So what we'll do now is I'll show you how to add the second device, which is the Sky Q box. So to do this, what we need to do is click plus at the top here, and then it asks you what type of device you want to add. So for example, this can be an infrared controlled device, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, but at the moment it only supports Roku, Sonos and Philips Hue Wi-Fi devices, but I'm sure they'll be adding more Wi-Fi devices very soon. And it also supports RF, which is 433 and 315 specifications. However, in this case, it's just infrared. So what we're doing is going to be adding a Sky TV Q box. So it's a Sky Q box, so we'll select infrared. Then what we'll do is select search model. At the top, we'll enter the keyword, which is Sky. And here you can see we've got Sky, Sky Brazil, Sky de Valiat, Deutschland, Sky Digital, Sky Germany, Italy, Mexico, and so on. So what we'll do at the top under popular brands, we'll just select Sky, and then what we'll do at the top is for the search, we'll type in Q, and as you can see, we've got Sky Q down in the section under S. So we'll select this, and then what it's asking us to do is test the commands to make sure that we've got the right remote control codes and that it controls the device properly via the power. So what we'll do is just click for trigger under the power section. We'll click this, and I can confirm that the trigger works for the power. So we'll just click the trigger once more to power back on the device, and I can confirm that the device has powered back on. So what we'll do is now presume that this is working correctly. So we'll click next, and now it's asking us to give our Sky box a name. So we'll click in name, call this Sky Q Lounge. The icon, we'll just change the icon. So what we'll do is just leave the icon as it is, which is default for this one. So now what we'll do is click complete, and then what it does is downloads the code library into the hub, and it will also then synchronize this with the app and the remote control. So it just takes a few seconds to do this, so we'll just wait. And as you can see, it's now saying configuring the file, and we'll just wait a few seconds for this to configure, and then it's download complete. So what we'll do, the device has been added to the hub, is click complete, and now we've got Sky Q Lounge. So as you'll see, against Panasonic TV Lounge, it's got no message against it. However, you'll see that we've got not configured against Sky Q Lounge. So what we need to do is just finish configuring this. So we'll click on not configured, and now what it's saying is before creating an activity, you need to complete the device's power settings. If certain buttons are not working, refer to the troubleshooting. So we'll just clear that with the X, and then what we'll do is select power settings here. Now it's asking you what power state you want the device to be allocated to. So for example, what should the device do when switching to an activity that doesn't include it? So we want the device to stay on unless the power off is pressed, which is the most common option, I would think. So we'll select this, click next. How does your device control the power switch? So it only has a power key and it does the same action. So we'll click next. So what we'll do is test this by clicking the test button. And what it should do is turn off the device. Now I can confirm that the SkyQ box has just turned off. So we'll click yes to confirm that this works. And then what we'll do is test it once more. So we'll click test again and hopefully it should power back on the device. And I can confirm that it's powered back on the SkyQ box. So we'll click yes and then we'll click complete at the bottom. So then what it's doing now is taking us into what looks like the remote control. Now this is on the Android app. So you can actually control this via the Android app, as you'll see on screen here, or you can actually control it via the remote control as well. So for example, we've got the navigation buttons, we've got back, we've got home, channel up down, and also the volume up down. So for example, what about channel number buttons? So if you want to go straight to a channel number and you know the numbers, what you can do is click 1, 2, 3 at the bottom and then just type in the exact channel number. Now you can also click these 3 dots here, and what it will do is give you a whole list of different actions which you can perform as well. So to get back to the main screen, just click this, what looks like the remote control at the bottom, and it will take you back to the main one. So now that we've done that and set this up, we can go back and you'll see we're now under devices. Both of them have the clear message removed, as you'll see. So that means that they're both fully configured. You can actually go into activities. Now here, for example, say if you have a morning activity where you want the TV to turn on, the SkyQ box to turn on, and then automatically select a specific channel number on your SkyQ box, say a news channel, for example. So what you can do is create an activity. So what we'll do is I'll show you quickly how to do this. We'll click the plus button, select the devices that we want to use for this activity, so it will be both the TV and the Q box, and click next, and it's asking us to select the input source for this activity. So as it's already on the default input source, we'll click next, and what we want to do is turn on the TV and then also turn on the SkyQ box. So we'll click next. So what it's asking us now is what device we want to control the volume up, down, and also the mute button with. So this will be the Panasonic TV. As the sound is transmitted from the TV, we use the TV to control the volume. So what we'll do is leave this as default. So it's already selected TV. So we'll click next. Then what it's asking us to do is what buttons and what device we want to link these to. So for example, all these fast forward, channel up, down, back, home, navigation will all be controlled by the SkyQ box. So as you can see, this is already selected by default, so we'll click next. And then what we'll do is give this input a name. So turn on TV and SkyQ and click complete. So now what we want to do is actually, when it turns on, we want it to select a specific channel. So what we'll do is to edit this, we'll go in, click this, and then edit, and then select startup settings. So as you can see, Panasonic TV Lounge, power on the Q box, Panasonic TV, no need to switch input, and no need to switch input on the SkyQ Lounge. So what we need to do is add some commands. So for example, we'll click add command, select the device, and it's SkyQ Lounge. The command will be, so we want to select the exit button, which will take us from the TV guide, which automatically is displayed every time we switch on the Q box. So what we need to do is first select exit so that it goes back to the full TV picture for the last channel that was used. So then we'll select duration, which is immediately, click confirm. And then after that, what we need to do is add a further command, device. So the device will be SkyQ command 5. So we'll enter number 5. Duration is immediately, click confirm, add another command, select the box, SkyQ command is 1, confirm, add a command, device, SkyQ, command is 3, and click confirm. So what it will do is automatically turn on the TV, turn on the Q box, skip switching inputs. So for example, it doesn't need to select the HDMI input. Then what it will do is exit the SkyQ box so that it goes back to the full screen picture from the automatically displayed home page when the device is powered on. Then what it will do is select channel 513. So we can just click save, and then we can go back and back again, and you'll see for activities we've got turn on TV and SkyQ. So that's completed adding a macro command, and I can confirm that the macro command worked correctly. It turned on the TV, turned on the SkyQ box, and then it removed the home guide which appears on the SkyQ box every time you power it on, and it went onto channel 513. So that's how easy it is to set up activities in the SofaBaton X1S and also the SofaBaton app. So obviously there's very powerful macros you can do. So for example, you can set one up for the evening, say to switch to a certain TV channel in the evening, or start up an app. For example, you can load up the YouTube app at a certain time and create various macros for that. So you can get very powerful with the macros. We quickly show you some more settings. So for example, we can go into Me at the bottom, and this will give you various menu options. So there's an API interface which you can enable or disable. Share code base, there's also settings. So you, for example, you can pair with a new remote, find your remote, which beeps to find your remote, sync your remote, which actually syncs all the commands, the macros and everything with the hub and the remote control. You can also see version info, so it will give you all the different versions for the hub, remote, app and so on. Check for app updates. As you can see, it's already the latest version. And firmware update for remote, and it's currently on version 3, and for the hub it's on version 4, as you'll see here. Now just to confirm, when I did first power on to test the devices, there were some updates, but it did actually do these automatically itself, and it checked for updates automatically the very first time actually I powered on the hub and also the remote. So it did automatically do the updates as soon as the hub was adopted. So that's the settings. So for example, there's video tutorials, guides, frequently asked questions, survey, contact support, so you can contact support through the app, privacy policy, terms of use, and also about us. And also we have a gear icon at the top here. So that's with language, my account name, sign out, delete user account, and so on. So that's it. We've got devices added, we've created macros, and I've showed you the settings in the app. That's basically it for the SofaBaton X1S Smart Universal Premium Quality Remote Control. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you liked it. And don't forget, I'll put various links in the video description where you can click on links to buy this product and also to view the SofaBaton website with various other devices and remote controls in different price brackets. Take care, and I'll be back again soon with more videos. Bye for now.